Well, baby, you've been on my mind. I think about you all the time. Oh, I want to see your face.
Three fingers.
Three fingers? In my face. Okay. Oh, I'm never comfortable. Oh, God.
Oh, T-Boy.
I hope we got that on.
We got that.
Did we start? That'd be great.
Oh, we started 5 minutes ago.
Oh, shit. I mean, shoot. See?
You can cuss on here.
No.
You can
Huh?
cuss on here.
I can't. My mama might watch it. I'm 38.
Dustin.
Did
Okay, we're getting ready.
Pauline sign?
Yes, you did.
We're running out of spots.
All right, let me know when you're ready, Dustin, because we're gonna go shoot right now. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we are back. Hi, Brandon.
Why are you yelling?
Because I'm just so excited to be here.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not yelling at you.
It's early.
Listen, man, we have so much to be thankful for. We are partnering with a hotel, and not just any hotel. We are partnering with
The AC.
Yep,
Hill Country.
That's
AC,
right.
Austin South.
there you go. Hill Country.
You know what? That hotel is beautiful.
It is.
Prior to having that hotel, nothing against Residence Inn or whatever else is around here.
Right.
But as soon as that hotel opened, I was like, this is where we need to stay when you're in town. This is where our guests should stay.
Absolutely.
And they've just been the most hospitable place. It's
Unbelievable.
been phenomenal working with them.
Charlotte and her team have just rolled out the red carpet. They actually just won an award in New Orleans for hospitality. And they really like the podcast. So any fans of ours, we're fans of theirs. And in fact, our guest will be staying there moving forward. And what a great place on the 5th floor. Who's also partnered with us is a place that, Dustin, you're going to like this. It's called Violet Sky. And it is an outdoor bar that overlooks South Austin. Outdoors.
Great
beautiful,
view.
Great view.
Yeah.
So we're just so blessed. Handsome Dan will be able to take his dog there because it is very dog friendly. So I want to start off with that. Just and maybe that's why I was yelling, because I was so excited.
Yeah. Thank you.
The second reason I'm yelling is because we have talking in the background with Handsome Dan and Dustin. But no, speaking of Dustin, Dustin Poirier has decided to come out with a whiskey. And one of our guests coming up today actually gifted it to us to drink for the show only, Brandon. For the show only. It's actually signed by UFC star Dustin Poirier. And it is called what?
Rare Stash.
That's right, Rare Stash. It's kind of like when you were in college and you grew your mustache out.
Yeah. That was like more of an awkward stash than a
we're
rare
kind
stash.
of barely filled in.
Yeah.
So today I am blessed to not only call this person a friend. You guys know I always say friend, but I really do mean this. All the way from Lafayette, Louisiana /Karen Crow.
/Port Barry.
/Port Barry. We decided to bring some Cajun flavor over here to the beautiful state of Texas and Austin. And so our very first guest today, we will introduce a guitar player and then the next guest we have, but our very first guest is the beautiful and extremely talented Sarah Russo, everybody.
Sarah,
Oh,
thanks for being here.
thank you for having me.
I feel like you hated that introduction.
Oh, it was lovely. I would have liked more of an applause, but it's fine. No, I'm just kidding. No.
All right, Sarah.
No, stop. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
No, but seriously.
yeah.
No,
how,
but
how do we do it in Louisiana? Yahee, not ahee. Okay, not yeehaw. But Dustin Gaspard is also here, and he gave us this delicious to test, not to drink all of it, Dustin Poirier's whiskey. So, Sarah, please pull up a glass. Our new setup. We can't exactly cheers, but thank you for sleeping around with Dr. Brandon and Matthew.
Oh, I told you my mom was going to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, Sarah, it's just a play on words. It's
Very
for you to
clever.
come into the podcast. Now, my very first question to you, because we are friends, have you done a podcast before?
I did one.
How did it go?
Two.
Okay.
Oh, it went great.
That didn't sound convincing.
How great did it go?
What was great about it and what was so, you don't have to name the podcast, but I want to set it up so we are
Well,
a great podcast. For
it
you.
was my first podcast.
Yeah.
And
Like all first. Quick,
I did it twice.
disappointing.
Oh, yeah. You went back for more.
Well, or we had to redo it, but it was good.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Mm.
it was fine.
What
They
was
didn't,
wrong?
really
they didn't
long.
have a good
Was it-
handsome Dan.
It was really long.
Did they
You had
forget to
back
hit
and-
record?
No,
Or just some things were said? Got it.
no, it was good. It was fine.
So I know you.
You see, It was like this so far. No,
Oh,
it was
no.
good.
This is
I'm
gonna be
kidding.
great.
So I
It
will
was really
tell-
good.
And I do know that you watch the show or
I
listen
do.
to the podcast, so you know kind of the ebb and flow of things. We don't take things too serious, but man, there's times where we do kind of go deep. So let me just introduce how I met you. And Mark Broussard was our very first guest that we had on this podcast. Brandon and I tell the story of how this podcast got created was really centered around Mark Broussard's music. And Mark and I have had a history. He asked me to come to a show at Rock and Bowl in Lafayette, Louisiana. It is literally a concert stage with bowling alleys on the side. And just, to me, it's just a fun venue.
Yeah.
He asked me to come early to watch this artist that sings with him. And I'd seen her sing before, I believe, but this was the first time I'd ever seen you headline. And she was in this black outfit, blue hair, and just wailing. And I mean, it was amazing. I've listened to a lot of music, and I love live music. And from the moment I walked in there with my buddy, you blew me away. You have such a gift, and the music you sing for your age is amazing. You are soulful, and it's an honor to truly call you friend, but also have you on the podcast. So today, what I thought we would do is kind of talk about your history, talk about your children's, talk about why you have blue hair, and definitely have you sing for us, and obviously have Dustin play. Is that going to be okay? Is that a good setup for a podcast?
This is such an honor to be here. Yes.
And we are going to talk about sleep.
Okay, well then I should should tell you up front that's not going to go well for me.
In what way?
Well, I slept 0 hours last night, for
Okay.
example.
Yeah.
I just couldn't sleep.
Well, you had just played a gig last night
Yeah.
in Lake Charles,
There was
Louisiana.
some street noise in Houston
Okay.
that I'm not used to.
Right. Right. Well, you do live out in Karen Crow, Louisiana. Okay.
Kind of country.
So let's jump into it. Sarah, before I saw you, right, I did not know. So talk to us a little bit about your musical journey and how it got started in Louisiana.
My musical journey started when I was very little. I was like 4,
No, that's okay.
maybe younger.
All
My
right.
parents put me on, my dad was a preacher, so my parents put me on a stage
Okay.
with my sister and just picked a song and we sang it. And then I tell everybody this, I didn't know that people didn't sing because everybody in our family sang. My mom, my dad, extended family on both sides, my
Wow.
sisters. So everybody just played an instrument and sang.
Mhm.
And so my dad was a preacher, so we kind of had the stage. My grandfather was a preacher. So we started singing in his church. They put us on the stage, threw us up there. We did a cute little song that was probably a little bit emotional scarring. That's where it all started. It was a very sad song.
Were they more gospel hymns or were they more,
In the beginning,
sure.
it was like contemporary Christian of the 90s, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
80s
Yeah.
and 90s. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of Striper.
Sandy Patty.
I'm just kidding.
I know who that is.
A lot of
No.
Amy Grant.
Amy Grant.
Okay.
I loved Amy Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael W. Smith.
Michael W. Smith. So a lot of the praise and worship.
In the very beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
And then BB and CC Winan, loved them.
Yeah. And so that's how it started. And then, like you said, it kind of took a turn towards like, listen, I'm Catholic. Did you do Gregorian chants? I mean, how bad could it
Yeah.
actually get?
No,
I mean,
that's what we did. Gregorian chants.
Okay.
No, we just, when my dad opened his church, he
Mhm.
started a church.
okay.
I don't know what year it was. I was like 8, maybe.
Okay.
We didn't have any,
It's like 12 years ago.
okay. We didn't have a band. No
Right.
musicians. Nobody was really signed up for that. So he told me and my sister to learn to play something. And I played drums.
Nice.
Don't laugh.
No.
And my sister did bass.
Mhm.
She still does.
I met her.
and guitar.
Yes. Mhm.
And
Did you do like
my mom played bass and my sister played guitar sometimes.
Did you do like the Fred LeBlanc cowboy mouth drummer with the
yeah.
the
I wanted
mic
them-
hanging down? Yeah.
Jenny, Jenny.
I hated it. I did not know what I was doing. I wanted to hide behind a curtain. I wanted them to put anything in front of me. I didn't like doing anything in front of people at that time.
Really?
No, not growing up.
So I've always known you as an extrovert. Is that fair?
Now, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was always an extrovert, but performing, I did not like to be in front of people. I
So-
guess just from,
Well,
Does that
I-
carry through
always-
to still today? Like,
yeah.
do you get nervous going on stage?
I don't get nervous. I get a little in my head when I have to be like in the front doing all the things.
So
Mhm.
that was a big audience. To me, it was a good sized audience at Rock and Bowl.
Yeah, no, it
And
was
you
awesome.
were owning the stage. So that's funny to hear that.
Thank you. Well, no, I don't feel like I own the stage often, but it was very fun. I started when I was like 18 doing bars and restaurants and things like that with an actual band, actually getting paid to do that job. And every single gig, they had to turn my mic up. They were like, "You're not singing in the mic. You're not being loud enough." And now the opposite happens
true.
often. I just,
Well,
Turning the mic down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Time.
she's got pipes.
Every time.
She's
What
got pipes.
what was it? I'm sorry that I'm just because it's curiosity. I
No,
know
go
you
ahead.
got your whole thing though.
Are you turning me down or up? Oh,
Closer.
okay.
Closer. What do you think got you over that hump of the whether the dislike, the fear, the nervousness, whatever it was about being on stage in front of people, that now you can do it so well?
I don't know.
Is it
Probably
ju-
around a couple years doing it, I realized how much I loved singing. And I remember I was at a gig, I think I was 19, 20. I was at a casino. I wasn't even allowed to be in the casino at that time because it was before that law passed where you could, when you were underage, just to
Yeah.
perform.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this lady in the front, and she was like, I was singing that slow Sarah McLachlan. It was like Angel or something like that. And she teared up. And I was like, oh, I love this. And I was like, I can just feel what I'm singing, and maybe they'll do it too.
I could totally relate when I sing Chris Isaacs'
Oh my God.
Wicked Game on. What are you laughing?
No.
During karaoke.
Can you do that for us after this, please?
Well, we go to
I
karaoke.
insist you do it on the show.
I second that
I
motion.
can do that.
First time.
So
for
I
everything.
I can relate that. I see the emotion.
Does someone just redo that song?
It's just mine's not so much tearing up and looking in my eyes of crying. It's laughing and pointing. But you did skip over some
Still
stuff,
fun.
Sarah. I'm not going to let you get out that easy. So getting in front of people, being nervous, it seemed like it was more of a family business
Mhm.
than to jump to 18. You're in bars playing music. That's a leap. Church singing hymns, all that. To now we're in bars playing Aretha Franklin. I've heard you sing so many times. And just the good standards, old school Otis Redding stuff. There had to be somewhere in between there where something clicked where we went, oh man, this is what I want to do. This is, if I'm going to sing and I got this gift from God, this is what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah, I think I had one of those moments, maybe a couple, but mostly I wasn't exposed to a lot of other music growing up.
Okay.
It was mostly Christian music because of what we did. And my
Sure.
dad actually played music growing up his whole life. He had bands in the 70s and 80s. And so I didn't hear a lot of new stuff. I heard his old soul stuff. I had a little red radio, like the little battery operated.
Yeah.
It had the chrome on it.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I heard Aretha Franklin. It was Respect on the radio. And I waited by the radio until that song played again.
Wow.
And it was awesome. And so then I talked to my dad about some of the old songs, and he introduced me to some of the Sam Cooke stuff and
Heck
some of just
yeah.
the older stuff. He loved Gigi Shin. He loved Power Tower.
Yeah.
Tower of Power.
Right.
That's what I meant.
It's all right.
But he introduced me to a lot of that, and I was like, I want to hear more of this. I want to do some more. And so I started with Whitney Houston, The Preacher's Wife soundtrack,
There you
Oh
go.
yeah.
because it was kind of like
Right.
a little bit Christian, a little bit, you know,
Right.
and learned all those songs. And when I got a little older, my neighbor had all the CDs that I couldn't have, or they were tapes at that time, I think. But I would go listen, and I would like lay on her floor and listen to music.
I bet.
It was great.
And just take it in.
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, like I was just in it.
Well,
And then,
I couldn't imagine, we talk a lot on this podcast about music, and we have some amazing musicians in. And I've always been surrounded by it because of my mother and my father. My mother was that hippie side. My father was that old Southern rock, old country. So we always had music playing.
Mhm.
I couldn't imagine not hearing that stuff till a certain age. And then it's just like an overflow of just what did
Yeah.
I miss? And it's not a knock on Christian contemporary.
No.
I was
it
one
was
of those
exciting.
kids. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
It was
you're good.
exciting. But my parents at that point were only listening to that because they were doing the music in church. And so
Right.
like, that's what we practiced. That's what we played. That's what we did. And once I showed an interest in it, my dad showed me all the old stuff. He
Nice.
pulled out some of his old stuff
Wow.
and some pictures and just, I was like, I want to do this. And I remember writing my journal, I think it was 10 or
Wow.
11. And I put, I want to be a singer. And
Wow.
I meant like a singer, not like, just church music.
Right.
And actually I did both for a while. My parents were very supportive and my dad came to gigs in the casinos and, it was great. He actually sang with me and Dustin at one of our gigs not too long ago. And so it's been good. And that whole transition to the bars,
Right.
I was already kind of hanging out in the bars at that time.
No.
Because
No.
when you're 18, 17 in Port Barry, you can.
And Louisiana, I
Mhm.
believe. Well, I'm much older than you. It was 18 was legal when I was growing
It's
up.
nice that you're saying much older.
Well,
But-
I look a lot younger, but I don't know. But in any of those creative aspects, and Dan, I'm going to ask the question now that, what we always like to ask our artists is, and Dan does a good job of this, I'm going to steal it. So when did you start writing your own stuff and how do you write now? Meaning, are you a yellow notepad? Now we're handy with the iPhones and talk into it. Do you just get inspired in this? Do you have a time set a week? So when did you start writing and how do you write now, your process?
It's an interesting question. When I wrote my first song, I was like 8, and it was
Yeah.
a jingle for my dad's auto parts store.
Okay. Preacher / auto parts.
He had an
store.
auto parts
Okay.
store for like 30 years. Yeah.
All right.
And then that was his second job. And I wrote a jingle on a little Casio piano that I had in his office. And he was like, that's really good. And I was like, okay. And then,
So you better pay me.
well, he did send it. I think he sent it to a radio station. He was happy and proud, but it obviously, if that would have taken off, we'd be in a very different place right now. But we,
Do you
had-
remember it?
yeah, I'm not going to sing it though.
Come on.
No.
Do you have the recording
I wanna
somewhere?
hear it.
Like, can I put
Come
it in
on.
later?
Oh,
You
God.
got such a just, yeah, let me hear it.
Oh God. Okay, so his wasn't planning on this. His store was called Russo's Auto Parts.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is very embarrassing, and I don't
If you-
remember
if
the
you're
second
that
part, but I'm going to
embarrassed,
remember. I'm just do a little bit.
All right, just
Okay.
a little.
Okay, it was Mr. Russo's quite a guy. He is the first one to say hi. He owns Russo's Auto Parts. They sell keys and champion sparks. If you want service, go to Russo's Auto Parts. And then I got my sister to do a part
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
8 years old.
Well, Thank you.
Oh my God.
There's that
Did you
round of
catch that?
applause.
Because I'm going to try to.
When I was
See
a
if we can
kid, I would have
revive
been
that.
like, I like boogers and farts.
I like that too.
Russo's Auto Parts. But so you had this, and again, I'm a believer, right? It was obviously a gift. What I would give to be able to have, just her just jingling that. And Dustin knows what I'm talking about. Like, I came to watch them play pretty recently, and you can't find Sarah anywhere. And he's doing all the setup. And Sarah just walks in, sweaty, off of wherever she'd been, and just goes straight to the mic and wails.
Did you mean to say that I help a lot before and after?
Oh, I was there, and Dustin. Am I lying?
Doubled down.
Okay. I like it. He goes, hey, man.
I just work here.
But no, he was being chivalrous and doing, so obviously we had this gift at an early age. And I love that you tell me that your father I thought this was going to go in a different direction, like Footloose. Let's dance.
Yeah.
Nobody's but that your father was not only the preacher, but also said, hey, my daughters, I know your sister, they got this gift. They need to go. And they're allowed to go. I have a 17-year-old, and I couldn't imagine her going, Dad, I have this talent. I'm going to go start playing in bars all over Louisiana.
Well, at that point, I don't know if I asked. I think I was 18.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think I left and did it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even tell them that I was really doing it. And
Were
then
you
they
one of
started
those
coming.
that went out of the house wearing like knickers and all this stuff, and then as soon as you got to the car, go,
Change
Woo,
it,
am
yeah.
I singing?
just change.
I mean, look at me now.
No,
yeah,
I like
pretty
your
much.
style.
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I didn't hide it. I
Okay.
didn't do it until I was out of their house. I did respect my parents' house a great deal growing
Okay.
up. I didn't do anything.
So
I was a
hold
very
on.
good kid.
And Brandon catches stuff like this. So you finished up high school or whatever that was, and then
I did finish high school.
and you just moved. You moved out
Well, yeah,
or in with
I
somebody.
left.
Okay, we'll just keep it at that.
I surfed on some friends' couches
Yeah.
for about 6 months.
Okay.
And then I ended up moving into a little guest house that a friend of mine had. And then I did end up back at my parents' in a old Silver Street camper for about 6 months at
Nice.
some point. And yeah, I mean, they said, I think what they told me is you can do music and you can do all that, but you can't go party in the bars and drink and
Right.
do all that and still live here. So I was like, okay, bye, with no plan, which is kind of my thing. But I went and did that and then came back, and then just, they ended up being pretty supportive, and they would come watch. And then once they saw the music that we were doing was basically everything that they grew up listening to.
Yeah.
My mom used to love Catherine and Tennille, and we did that one night. And so they were really in it, you know.
Captain and Tennille was a group, a duet. They were actually
no.
married in real life.
How old are you, handsome?
I'm 28. Yeah, 28.
He's almost like an animal.
Oh,
He goes,
good.
"Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa,
But he knows all the new songs that we don't know, probably.
No, probably
too.
not. Probably not. I have a very similar story with you. Not really a story, but like background of being kind of not necessarily sheltered, but all I got was
sheltered a little bit.
the what is it called again? Gospel music.
The gospel
Not really
music.
gospel music, just churchy vibes.
Contemporary
So-
Christian. Yeah.
Churchy vibes.
2006 is when I started listening to music, and at that time, like rap was having a moment. So that's what I got.
It was having a moment. I
Well-
like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was having a moment.
it was.
No, so, but that's cool that y'all kind of had that similar, you know, because I just shared that I've always had like this music. All right. So your couch surf, let me get to that point. I
Mhm.
think so many times, and there's different generations now where kids just don't leave. Watch this. I'll put this on camera. My brother's daughters, they never left.
It's
They're 45. No, they're
Oh,
20
God.
something years old, but they don't want to leave. I graduated high school and it was just
I couldn't
understood
wait to leave.
you leave,
You know, it's
but I
kids-
couldn't wait. Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing with kids these days is
Kids these days.
kids these days. They don't drive either. Like a lot of kids, like I could not wait to get my permit and my license when I was 15, 16 years
Yep.
old.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I run into people that have kids that are 18, 19,
I
20.
know.
They still don't have their driver's license.
Trust me, that's my brother's daughters.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brad, but it's true. It's like they just they work, but they Uber places or they get rides.
Well, yeah,
it's
we
great
didn't
for
have
parents who
Uber.
have to
Yeah.
cover insurance. By the way, I was
Yeah.
like, maybe Mia can wait a little while. But I think that built character, and that's who you are, Sarah. I've spent enough time with you to know that you're resilient and you're like independent. I know for one
Thank
thing
you.
about you, you don't need anybody. You might want people.
Well, that's very nice. Some people have to call me and tell me to drink water and take vitamins, but that's okay.
That's because
I
they
need
care
help
about you and you're an alcoholic. No, I'm
No.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, I
I'm
drank water
kidding.
today. So
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's,
You are not an alcoholic. Well, as far as I know, you could be.
I'm not,
and
and I don't drink water. That's very true. But I did drink water today, and I would like to say
So
that.
I have some fantastic news for our audience. So Handsome Dan in one of our episodes said he was doing this challenge called 75 Hard. And I got my big butt up every day and started doing it. Now, full disclosure, I didn't do the selfies every day and I did not stop drinking alcohol. But
So
I'm
you
being
did
serious.
You did yeah.
But it was awesome.
so you did
And-
75
You
soft.
kind of did
75
it.
songs. Exactly.
but
did.
but
Exactly.
part of it was you had to drink a gallon of water a day. And I remember going, I drink water. Man, being forced to drink a gallon of water a day, you kind of think. And so what it does, and Dustin, you're in good shape, by the way. I saw you with your shirt off on social media and the last time we hung out, but that's a whole different story. When you're on the chair, we're going to talk about it. But Sarah, you got to drink water. I mean, part of our podcast here, we have fun and we drink, but we do promote health. You got to drink water.
I know. That's why I was surprised you wanted me to come here because I don't sleep and I don't drink water.
Well, that's
But
why you're here.
I'm-
It's-
is
we're
this an
calling this an
intervention?
intervention.
This is an intervention.
Dang it,
This is-
Dustin, do you have your
good.
letter?
Oh God.
Dustin's like, all right,
Yeah.
Sarah.
No,
We're such good friends. Okay.
on the way over here, I took a sip of water and he literally drove off the road. He was like, "Did you just drink water?"
Yeah.
But it's not that dramatic.
Well, you definitely got to hydrate. Hydrating your body, not because you have to hydrate your body.
I know.
What do you drink instead?
Red Bull.
Okay.
No, like
That's from
Monster.
Monster.
sugar-free Monster.
Okay. Yeah.
And sometimes I put ice in my drink, so that counts.
It does, and
I was
sometimes.
going to
water.
say she's got a cube of ice. It's
This
right
is
here.
water, technically. Yeah.
So this will give us a good segue to apparently one of our new partners, and us Louisiana people, we call it Richards, but I was told that it's not. It's called Richards Rainwater. I'm going to crack this open. Would you pass
Do it.
this
Do it in the
over there?
mic.
Would you? Would you pass this
No,
over?
no, 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 no. Do the crack in the mic.
Oh, the
Crack
crack.
it in the mic. Give me the audio.
You want me to stand up and put my crack in the
No.
mic?
What kind of podcast?
Oh, you want me to open
Pop
the
it in
thing?
the mic.
Okay,
You
here
know
we
what I'm
go.
talking about. Mm.
Oh.
Yum.
Richard's
Yeah,
Rainwater.
you got it on you.
Yeah, not the first time.
Okay, edit that out.
Where's your
Yeah.
water?
Oh, are you making me drink water on the
I am.
podcast?
Yeah,
Okay.
Rainwater. This is part of the intervention.
So part of it is drinking water. Look at Dustin over there. He's like, I got the big water over here. Or that's just straight up vodka. All right.
That's delicious.
So when you decided and you said you didn't move back home. I like when people go, well, technically I didn't move back home. I had a whatever. But when did it hit that you said, all or nothing, I'm all into music. This is my life. I don't have a plan B. I don't have a plan C. I'm doing this. And share with our audience and us kind of when that moment happened for you, Sarah.
Well, I've done it for a long time as a job, mostly a side job, but I've always had like 3 or 4 jobs in addition to music.
Right.
And I guess after my second daughter was born, I was working a lot. I was actually an HR manager, HR director at 3 hospitals. And I was going to work at like 7, and coming home at like 8.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't even get to see, like they were new, the children.
Right.
And I didn't get to like hang out with them or anything. And so I was still singing. And I realized if I just maybe did more gigs and tried to work that into something more full time, that I could do it. And then eventually, probably in the past 3 years, it's been my 2 years sole source of income, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. So that puts a little pressure on you too, that you just, I wanted to do it, but I was like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to do it. Yeah.
And I think when we've talked about this in past episodes, and I'll let you touch on this, whenever you get rid of that plan B, when this is the only thing you have, what motivates you will be totally different. Obviously your children, right?
Mhm.
But just that drive. I remember you had talked, yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Like
So
when you
with
fully went
business,
in,
like when
yeah.
you decide you're going to start a business, if you have other businesses that are productive and profitable, you may not work quite as hard at that new business as if that is your sole source of income. Now the timing's a little interesting. I know we didn't really have COVID here in Texas, but
Louisiana was kind of right
Oh.
there.
but a couple of years ago was kind of the beginning of COVID. And so to go all into music at a time where nobody was allowed to go play music anywhere above ground. What was that like?
It was, the month that I got an apartment with my kids.
Dan, you left the fridge open.
Is the
It's beeping.
This is a fridge break. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he fired?
He's
No.
fine.
No, he's not.
I'm sorry, I lost what I was
COVID.
saying.
It's okay.
COVID, yeah.
The month you got
The
your apartment.
month that I got my own apartment
Mhm.
with my kids, I decided I was going to do full time. I got an agent the same, like it was 2020.
Mhm.
So like 2 months before, got an agency, and I was like, I'm doing this full time, going to do music. COVID hit in that month, March. And like everything was shut down. So I was like, okay. So like prohibition would like that kind of thing. I was calling people all secretive. Hey, do you want to do a private party? Do you want to do a live stream? And I could just put a Venmo up and just like anything.
Yeah.
And studio work. So surprisingly through that time, I didn't lose much income. I was very safe and I wore a mask and I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to do.
Well, we know about masks, so don't even just go ahead. Sorry, I beat you to it. Sorry.
I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. I did what I was supposed to do,
Right.
but I was able to do those gigs. And like the studio sessions were kind of a lifesaver too, because people were hiring background singers for projects that they had just sitting there that they couldn't really do much with. But I did a lot of studio work.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so you didn't go back and do anything else. You stuck with it, even though.
Yeah. During COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was lucky that the people that I was playing music with too were like, okay, let's do a live stream. You might not make anything on a live stream if you're just doing it for tips. We got very lucky.
I love that you keep saying that. I disagree. I think you're extremely talented, and we'll see that really soon when you play. But I think there's a difference between luck.
Well, I mean, lucky in the fact, like in the way that the bar owners and the
Right.
venues would let us do things like that and use their platform. Some of the radio stations did the same thing with a lot of the local musicians. So I felt very blessed to be able to still do that and not have to pick up like a day job.
Sure.
You know, because my kids were in school and it would have been difficult to do both.
Well,
I would have only done both.
And there were definitely other places in the country where the bar owners weren't doing that.
Right.
There weren't those platforms for musicians.
Right.
You know, I know downtown Austin was a struggle for a lot of musicians.
I will say, because living in Lafayette, Louisiana, I meant there was, and not necessarily underground. They just said, listen, we're going to open back up. You know, we're going to do our things. And for a guy who travels around quite a bit, you know, been blessed to live in two great states, Texas and Louisiana. So when COVID hits, you know, you say luck, I say you have a gift, and you're kind of getting into the rhythm and everything. And you knew that this is what you wanted to do. How was that yes to do that? Looking back on that, how was that yes feel now versus being kind of scared? Are you obviously grateful, but I mean,
Am I still scared?
You just gig. You have a gig tonight in Austin. I mean, you're obviously doing very well.
I don't want to say lucky again, but I feel like I do the best I can to hustle work where I can. I feel like we take a lot of gigs that maybe, you know.
Well, let me prove a point. All right. And I always like being right. That's my favorite two words.
Oh.
You're right. Yeah. We're going to have Dustin Gaspar come up here and play with you. And I would love for you to sing a song for our audience and obviously for us. And you get to pick which song. And then we'll determine if it's luck or if it's a blessing.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
All right.
I'm not going to say that you're right, but that sounds fair.
All right. You saw what I did there. Yeah.
We do have a duet song that we're going to do in a minute, though, that we both wrote. We're not going to do it right now, though.
All right, cool. Do your song, bro.
Okay.
Call me a doctor.
Yeah. You're a doctor. I know. Grammatically, it's not the best. Okay. Late last night, checking my phone. You left me a message asking me when I was coming home. You're not gonna get your way. Even if I call you back tomorrow, she might take my place. Who you think you are? Who do you think you are? Maybe this time. Oh, baby, you pushed me way too far. Call me a doctor. Tell me what to do. Loving that man, I'm blinded by the truth. Oh, write me a script, give me a plan. You're my addiction to this man. Call me a doctor. Tell me what to do. 1 year later, down the road, I can't believe I ever used to fall for every lie you told. Now we're standing in the same place. See you from across the room and feel my heart begin to race. How do you do this to me? How do you do this to me? I may never get better. Baby, you're making me weak. Somebody call me a doctor. Tell me what to do. Write me a script, give me a plan. You're my addiction to this man. Call me a doctor. Tell me what to do. Call me a doctor. Tell me what to do. Loving that man, I'm blinded by the truth. Call me a doctor. Tell me what to do. Loving that man, I'm blinded by the truth. Write me a script, give me a plan. You're my addiction to this man. Call me a doctor. Tell me what to do.
I'm so glad I know you guys.
Aw, thanks.
We never played that song for a doctor.
It was intimidating. Yeah.
Hold on, stay up there. Stay
Actually-
up there.
Okay.
I want to hear about this duet. I want to hear.
The
I'll say
duet.
I'm just a
I'm not
dentist.
taking over, Emma. I apologize.
Cool. Yeah. You want to introduce this? You don't like the way I do it?
You can do it because we're on a podcast and there are no rules here.
Okay.
I was told.
This song's about Sarah and how she gets drunk sometimes and have a real good time in Nashville.
But also, that's not true. But he still introduces the song that way.
Sarah and I went to Nashville and we had to write like a country song. So this is what we put together.
Yeah, everybody was having a real good time in Nashville.
It's called The Booze. We saw people like ride mechanical bulls and she drank so much Bud Light, her hair turned blue.
He's lying when he says saw people that he rode a mechanical bull, and
Nobody else.
Put some fun
He
between
was
your
the only
legs.
one.
That's what I say. So,
I feel like she just disputed every part of your
Well,
I
yeah.
practiced.
Yeah, it's like she's been watching the Amber Heard trial. So.
No. Ugh. You know, you have a gig tonight, but then you're done. You're fired.
Well, welcome to the retirement party. This
Yeah.
song is called The Booze,
Booze.
and we wrote this together. Got a little something planned tonight.
Better bring the whiskey and red wine.
Remind me, how'd you like it?
Easy on the ice, make it as stiff as you can.
With everything that's happening, we don't know.
Here's another round, I'm ready to go.
The booze. Ever since I got mixed up with you, doing things I never thought I'd do. If we're taking shots, then I'll take two. You can grab the beer and I'm gonna grab the liquor. Come tomorrow morning, we'll be sweating like sinners.
We survived the Jaeger bombs with no helmets on and our headaches gone.
I fell asleep in the bathroom stall while she became the queen of beer pong. Rode the mechanical bull. After that, we started seeing two. One thing's for sure, by the time it's through,
We're gonna find our livers
in the ICU. Plan A, we drink. Plan B, we'll eat. We don't know.
Here's another round, I'm ready to
Go
go.
the booze. Ever since I got mixed up with you, doing things I never thought I'd do. If we're taking shots, then I'll take two. Is church still serving wine? Ooh. Another reason for me to go and confess my life.
Tonight I finally see the light. I must admit, we have a problem.
We, the booze. Ever since I got mixed up with old Sarah Russo.
Don't call me old.
You know, I'd never seen her drink water, and when I did, almost wrecked. Cause you
That's
know,
true.
I mean, you like the whiskey, you know.
Sometimes.
The booze. Ever since I got mixed up with you, doing things I never thought I'd do. If we're taking shots, then I'll take two. You can grab the beer and I'm gonna grab the liquor. Come tomorrow morning, we'll be sweating like sailors.
God. That's fine.
Thanks. I feel like I need to tell you again, that's not about me.
Quite the story.
I'm so
Quite the lie.
Kind of about.
But
I'm gonna tell you right now, to Sarah and Dustin, y'all should be huge. You know, obviously the podcast is called Sleeping Around, and one of the things, and we joke about the water, right? But I'm not joking. You need to drink
I
more
feel
water.
like
Stay
that's pretty
hydrated.
important in
Yep.
your
and,
series.
and you not getting any sleep. Brandon does an amazing job at this, is that he kind of talks through kind of your history of sleep. But have you always just not slept? You always have energy when I see you, and it can't just be the cocaine. I'm kidding. Kidding.
God.
Kidding.
Jesus Christ.
That was a joke.
But it doesn't hurt.
I have to go.
That was a joke.
Okay, you get one more because y'all wore my shirt.
Yes.
That's fine.
By the way, we are sporting a shirt. And I'm joking about that, but you have this unlimited amount of energy.
How come you got the gray one and I got the black one?
We can switch. You want to switch?
Yeah, y'all switch right now. I'm gonna get my phone.
I'll switch. Right
No,
now.
no.
Okay.
Yours is bigger.
But your sleep is so important. And one of the things that we try to promote, obviously our musician friends or people that are launching stuff, CEOs, businesses, is sleep. And so what I would tell you that you've got to start making it a priority for a couple of reasons. Number one, that voice you have right there will only improve if you're getting rest. We're not saying sleep 8 hours a night. That's not one thing. And Brandon has taught me through this podcast is that, but you need to be getting rest. Do you ever rest? You got children, you're working, you're on the road. I mean, do you rest? And what does that look like?
I rest, I think. Mhm.
So what does that look like? When you tell me you rest, if
What's
I
your schedule like?
Yeah.
How many gigs a month?
I feel like I'm in therapy now. It's gonna make me really start sweating. No, I do about 3 or 4 gigs a week, sometimes 5.
Okay.
So those are late nights.
Okay.
When I
50
have-
weeks a year, 46 weeks a year.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to be math.
Oh, I don't know. I don't do math.
Oh.
Yeah, probably 56 weeks a year.
Yeah. 56
56 weeks.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's like 8
Like
days a
every
week.
week if possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but then when I have my kids
Yeah.
in the morning, I have to be up at 6. So like, I've just gotten used to late nights, early mornings, and sometimes I think about stuff at night, and I don't want to go to sleep because then I have to wake up and restart. So I just like keep doing it through the night. I know that's probably, but it has been productive at times.
Okay.
At times.
Yeah. Well, hear me out. We go ahead, Doc.
I think
Go
you
ahead.
could be more productive.
Okay.
I think that it's kind of like when we think about cramming for tests. We know the studies all show cramming for tests doesn't work. People think they have to stay up all night, pull the all-nighter, take the test in the morning, and that they're going to learn something in those last wee hours of the morning. And they think that they do. But in truth,
Yeah.
you probably perform better on the test. You will perform better on the test if you just went to bed and got more sleep than if you spent all night cramming. Assuming you've done at least a little bit of studying or reading, because obviously if you haven't done any reading or studying, that's a whole nother story. But
I think y'all are right.
it all comes down to, you mentioned productivity, you mentioned energy. Do you nap? Do you take any naps?
No, I don't like, okay.
Why don't
I love
you like
sleep. I'm
Do
sorry.
you have bad dreams? Do you have nightmares?
Sometimes, but that's not why I don't sleep. And also, please don't pull at that thread. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. No, no, no. I just feel like I could be. You're not gonna like this. I could be doing something better or
Oh.
different instead of
Yes.
sleep.
Yeah.
I feel like sleeping is
It's just not a priority
napping,
for you.
it's a waste of
So,
time.
yeah, no, that's okay.
And so we've had guests on the past, and in prior episodes, what we've discussed is, and it could be our generation thing, right? Where I know my father got up every single morning at a certain time and went to bed and it didn't matter. If you were sleeping, you were lazy. If you're taking a nap,
Mhm.
you were lazy. And we have this image of just being lazy. Sleeping, what we're trying to help do is promote that sleeping is actually complete opposite. It's self-care. And if we're going to take some time to rest our bodies and the gift that you have in that amazing voice, by sleeping, what sleep does is it rejuvenates. That's the whole part of sleeping, is it gives your body time to rest, to rejuvenate. You are young. I know you said don't say that, but the older you get, like my age, you're going to need that rest to be more productive. And at times, if you forget lyrics, or you could joke about it that may have had too much to drink and whatever, but that proper rest will only prepare your body to be the better mom, to be the better singer, to be that. And not in a blame way where I'm telling you you're not
Mhm.
right now. It's just, I think the more optimal sleep you get and rest, you will perform better in all functions of life.
Yeah, I think we're moving to an area, and of course, I've been listening to a lot of these biohacking and
Yep.
optimization kind of stuff. But that's where I think a lot of medicine is moving towards. is
Agree.
How do we optimize our bodies for performance? Athletes are there now. So athletes are there. How do we optimize for performance? It's about the right supplements, the right practice, the right workout techniques, the right schedule, the right sleep schedule, and all that kind of stuff. But sleep is a part of that. And so I've been really into optimization lately, just trying to kind of optimize health. But I think sleep's a part of that, and optimizing singing as well, and music and parenting and all that. I know I'm not a good dad when I'm tired.
Right.
I'm not.
And Sarah, I'm the type of person that when I would lay my head down at night, my mind would, that's when it would start racing. So I would get up and write, I got to write my thoughts, or I got to do this. I'm going to get ahead while other people are sleeping, was how I grew up. While others are sleeping for that extra 2 hours, I'm getting ahead, whether it's exercise, whether it's doing something productive. What I've learned recently in the last couple of years even is that my body has to get that rest, so then I can have that advantage. We're not saying you have to do this.
No, I'm definitely going to burn this place down when I leave. But
Well, I will say this. If you burn anything down, the only thing I would take is hydration.
Take the water.
hydration.
no, I agree with both of you. Hydration and sleep is very important. I know that. I'm probably not going to do it, but I do agree with you. It's important.
I love your
I've
honesty.
tried to-
I accept it.
Yeah, I
I'm,
accept it.
This is where
it's
I'm
more
at.
for me. It's more FOMO. Like I feel that I'm missing something. If I take a nap, I'm definitely going to miss something.
Mhm.
100%.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right.
How old are your kids?
9 and 7.
Oh, awesome.
And they are fun.
That's a fun age.
Huh?
9 and 7 is actually a pretty fun age.
Oh, it is a fun age.
Yeah.
They're one's just coming into some emotional, being an emotional girl,
Mhm.
which I can be at times, sometimes
No.
when I don't sleep.
There you go. I saw that chicken exit there. I get it. That's a good joke.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to harp on it too much, but
No,
I
it's
think
fine.
that
We
if you
can.
look back, and I don't ask anybody to do a true sleep journal, and I'm even talking to you, brother. Don't do a true sleep journal. Just look back at your last week and how many average hours did you sleep in that night or that 24 hours? And then just do that math and say, okay, next week, could I do 30 more minutes? That next week, could I do 30 more minutes? So if I averaged 3 hours a night times 7, I'm going to do the math again, 21 hours this week of rest. Could I next week promise myself that I'll do 21 hours and 30 minutes? Now, when I say rest and sleep, they go hand in hand to me. So when I get up early in the mornings, because I'm an early guy, I don't just pop up and say, I'm going to take on the day. I meditate. And when I meditate, that's part of resting. To me, that's getting my thoughts together. That's what I choose to do. And anytime that you can have those quiet moments without the kids screaming, without the music, without something, try to quiet down and get that rest for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the meditation thing, I did try that. And for
Okay.
about 2 months, I did meditation.
Okay.
But what I found myself doing is switching to, I need to meditate while I drive somewhere. 'Cause it
Oh,
was
boy.
a waste of time. I don't like sitting still. I don't even like going to the
stacking.
movies.
She's a stacker.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a second, I can meditate and drive
Yeah.
and drink. I mean,
No.
meditate, drive,
And
alone.
put on my
Okay.
makeup and
Yeah.
eat some cereal
Yeah.
while I'm driving. Yeah.
Oh.
But no, that feels like even sitting in a movie, I don't get massages because I don't want to just sit there.
Is there something that you're like really feeling like you're missing out on? Like,
no,
what
I'm
is it
like
that
not
you're,
doing anything productive at that moment. And I probably
you just want to be multitasking
I just
for no
don't
reason.
want to be doing nothing.
But you are doing something. If you're meditating, you're doing something. It's kind of happening, right?
Easy, Dan.
Easy, Dan. Easy, Dan.
Now, in all fairness to
All right.
Handsome Dan, there's a culture aspect too, right? So the culture in Louisiana, what I've experienced is hard work. I mean, you got to be doing, so kind of like I was talking about when I grew up, it was like, what do you mean? You taking a nap? Like, who takes naps? The little kids take naps in school. You don't take a nap as an adult, right? So it's also work,
Right.
work. Yeah.
So I'll take us out of this since we're not going to get anywhere with it.
I like it. And you know what?
This
Go
isn't
another
an
5 minutes, I
intervention.
might
I'm
start
just
sleeping.
kidding.
This
I'm
is
just
not
kidding.
an
I'm totally kidding.
Okay.
So I want to know what's next. Music.
Oh,
Where's the
Oh.
music going? So this is a new project. This is how long has this project been going on? And what are kind of your goals here over the next couple of years to where are you going to take your music?
a lot of questions.
sorry, I
there.
just had
No,
whiplash from
no,
this transition. Thank you.
he does.
No,
that.
I'm just kidding. I appreciate it. No, right now I've got a few different projects that I'm working with. I have my solo project, which I do have an album that I'm working on right now. A few things are almost finished. Probably do a little EP. I actually had somebody just fund my record to
Awesome.
finish it.
Awesome.
Very kind people. I love them. And they just said, hey, people helped us when we started. We want to help you. It was so sweet.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so that's getting finished. And then Dustin and I have been doing this is he on camera?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I caught it too.
I can make it happen.
Because you just yawned when I said that. No. He and I have been doing this for 2 years-ish.
Sure.
But, okay, can we do that again?
Yeah.
You and I, no. 2 years-ish. But we just started like writing and doing stuff. Well, together, he's been writing for like a year maybe.
And so
So we're
going
going to
on.
record that stuff.
Right. And so y'all are going out to promote. Obviously, we'll get to Dust when he's in the hot seat,
Mhm.
but his new music too. So when y'all are going around Texas right now,
Mhm.
what do you promote?
We're promoting both. We're doing the
Okay.
duo, Dustin and Sarah, Dusty and Sarah.
Okay. I'll come up with the appropriate
with-
name for you guys.
Thanks. Can it have a curse word in it, please?
Puss in Boots. Look, Boots.
Obviously,
That's fantastic.
No.
Oh,
All right. See how
My little
nervous she
helper.
gets? This
No.
is this is what I love about her because I've known her so far. Sarah, would you get up and sing your new song for us, please?
Yeah.
That way you can sing and
This is the one you play on guitar.
she don't play guitar.
I don't play. Actually, I can, but I have my fingernails. I could probably play better than him.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm
Oh.
kidding. I can't.
All right.
This is the second time we ever played the song.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So. Lonely yesterday. Fearing that I'll wait. I'm still missing someone I've never had. Don't need yesterday. Getting in my way. I'm still missing someone I've never had. You break my fall 1,000,000 times. Well, I know I'll hold on 1,000,000 more miles. It's not my fault, and nothing is helping, 'cause I'm still missing someone I'll never have. Every one of the memories that I have made keep silently screaming I've made a mistake of missing someone I've never had. Did you break my fall a million times? Well, I know I'll hold on a million more miles. It's not my fault. Nothing is helping. I'm still missing someone I'll never had. Ooh. I keep telling myself over and over again. I keep waiting like this. I'm not getting over it. You break my fall a million times. Well, I know I'll hold on a million more miles. It's not my fault. Nothing is helping. 'Cause I'm still missing someone I'll never have. Someone I'll never have.
Oh, I'm so honored that you wrote that song about me, Sarah. It really means a lot. We could change that. Yeah. Then I saw you naked. I changed my mind. Okay. So Sarah, thank you, man. That was beautiful. When did you write that song?
We wrote that song at the same Nashville trip, I think.
Was that
we
after
did the
you met
booze.
me or before?
The week after. Weird.
So I'm messing with you. So I surprised Sarah and actually got to see Dustin perform. It was kind of like I do here, and I'm very loyal. I can't give the name of the hotel because now we're with AC Hotel, Austin South.
Excited to stay there.
The hotel I always stayed in Lafayette, there was a club there, and it used to be called the Grouse, and now it's called the Ruins. And I was so excited because I was going to surprise them. And I'll tell you why I was surprised. What an amazing performance. Can we give a shout out to who was the other guy with you guys?
Josh Menard. That was
wow.
He plays in a lot of the other bands projects we have.
Man. So before we wrap up, these two guys have no idea what I'm about to say because they don't understand the name Wayne Tubes. And living in Louisiana 20 plus years, even going to school there in McNeese, Lake Charles, where you guys played last night, home of Daryl's greatest po' boy ever. I will tell you that my ex-wife, Kelly, who lived in Lorville, introduced me to this amazing man, not only personally, but his music. Wayne Tubes is a legend in Louisiana. And it's so funny how y'all are tied. And I never asked you, because Wayne loves you and you went on the cruise ships, you play with him. How did that happen?
Wayne has been so kind to me. He's been actually everywhere I go, even not in Louisiana, anywhere I go.
Oh, he's huge. Yeah.
People just know who he is. So I drop his name a lot. No, I'm kidding.
Smart.
No, he, there was a little hole in the wall bar that I was staying at one night for like a karaoke thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he came up after and he was like, I don't want to do his voice because I'm not going to do it right.
Oh,
but
try.
Justin can do it. No, he
Yeah.
was like, I don't know who you are, but here's my card. We're going to do something real quick. Never. I was like, okay. And like we talked for like 2 seconds. And then we ended up meeting again, and we have the same, long story short, same agent, but he actually hooked me up with her, and it just, long story. And then he was like, I want you to sing on my stuff. Like he's been incredibly supportive. He put me on a show last year. And then ever since then, he's just keeps putting me on him. And I hope he doesn't catch on that I don't always know what I'm doing, but he's been wonderforul.
And you got to do the cruise?
I went on the country music cruise with him, and I'm going on, there's another cruise in January. I forgot the actual name of it, but it's Mark's going on that one too, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
So I just think you've had like these, and of course, Mark, our mutual friend, these people that are so respected in Louisiana and have a history of their namesake. And if they put their blessing on you, Sarah, that has to say a lot for someone growing up in Louisiana.
Oh, I listened to Mark in my car when I was like 17. I skipped so much class. Doing 18, I probably ended college. I say ended, but wasn't asked to come back because of that. And then Wayne, I remember watching him at every festival.
Yes.
And so when I actually sang with Wayne for the first time, it was a moment. I teared up, and
I guarantee it.
I sang a song on stage, and I walked off, and he was looking at me, and he was like, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. It was great. It was such a great moment.
awesome.
And so for our audience out there, if you don't know who Wayne Toops is, Google Wayne Toops. If you don't know who Mark Broussard is, Google Mark Broussard. And if you don't know who Sarah Russo is after this episode, shame on you. Sarah, is there anything you want to promote as far as either your social or some dates coming up that you would like to promote?
Yeah, you can follow me on Sarah Russo Music, Facebook, Instagram, OnlyFans. I'm kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans, and you can cut that out.
Okay.
No, that's it. Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. And so recently, I'll tell you how close we are. Recently, her Instagram got hacked and she had to send out a video saying, "Hi guys, I've been hacked.
Yeah.
This is my real." Okay.
But you were one of the people that know I don't know anything about Bitcoin or Wells Fargo or anything.
Yeah. So,
everybody was replying like,
Hey.
what are your tips? And I was like, this is going to go very badly for you.
This is going to go real bad. But Sarah, thank you. Thank you for having so
me.
much for coming our way and being on our podcast. I knew the gift that you are. Hopefully these guys know now, and definitely our audience. So we usually end by cheersing. Do you have your, do we have anything else to drink?
I can pretend my water is over there.
You know what?
Grab the bottle.
How about we do this? Grab your water, and we're going to
It's over
practice
there.
now, Sarah.
Okay.
Look at this.
This is actually good water.
Richards.
Because it feels like a monster. That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for sleeping around with Dr. Brandon and Matthew. You're the best.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks
you,
for
friend.
having me.
Thank you.
'Cause when the sun goes down and the moon is high, we'll be chasing stars till the morning light. Come on, fly with me.